Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I'm really excited because we've got a new round of the Great Dollar Bin Trading Challenge. Now, for those of you who are new to this, I've been doing this for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. The idea is simple. I'm going to go out, I'm going to find books out of dollar bins, I'm going to trade them to you, and I'm going to continue to try and trade up until I can get an All-Star Comics #8, the first appearance of Wonder Woman. It's a big ask. It's difficult, but it's a lot of fun. I love dollar bin diving and I love doing trades. So my hope is that I can find cool stuff that you need, and then you trade them to me, and then when I get the new stuff, hopefully someone else out there needs it and I can continue to trade that. And as long as I can continue to find cool stuff in the dollar bins, I think I can continue to raise that value and do the trades. And I got some really great trades this time. It's always fun to get in the new comics, send out the old ones, and it's so interesting to see how much the pool has changed since I started. I started with 20 books in the dollar bin trading challenge, all books that I had pulled out of dollar bins, and I don't think I have any of the original trading pool left at this point. The way the works is there's a couple rules. If I drop below 20 books in my trading pool, I can add new ones to get back up to 20 books that I've bought out of dollar bins. I'm only allowed to spend money on spending $1 on a dollar bin book, shipping, sending a book to CGC, and we got a new rule that I've just added since last time, and that is I'm also allowed to spend money on signatures. I like signatures, not everyone does. Some people consider it a flaw if it's not like, a CGC witness signature. So I figure, it doesn't necessarily increase the value. It also doesn't necessarily increase the trading appeal. It's just something that I think is fun to do. So I do have something that I'll show you here that I got signed. So and that's pretty much it. So since the last time, I've made 3 big trades and I've traded away almost everything that was on the list last time. So let me move over here. Boom, we're going to put up the list. This is what we had at the end of the last round. And now I'm going to talk you through the 3 big trades. Now, the first trade I want to talk about is the trade that I made on Reddit. And the person on Reddit that made the trade with, their screen name is Murphy Lee Ain't Dumb. Thank you so much for trading with me. I really appreciate it. And this was a really cool trade. I traded to him a couple books that I actually had duplicates of. So you saw the list, and last time around I had 2 copies of Doctor Strange 169, a high grade copy and a low grade copy. I also had 2 copies of Avengers Annual 10, which were both really nice copies. And so I traded the lower grade Doctor Strange number 169, which is around a 1.8. I traded the higher grade Avengers Annual 10, which is around a 9.0. And I also sent him, the Avengers 196, which is around a 4.5. And basically it's just those 3 books, right? So here's what I got. I got actually a giant pile of stuff from him, so I'm breaking it up into 4 different lots, and I think you're going to enjoy this, particularly if you're looking for books starring the Hulk or the Silver Surfer. You're going to really dig this. So first of all is the big one, is a giant lot of cool Hulk books. Now, most of these books are Bronze Age books, a little bit of silver and some moderns as well, but the heart of it is Bronze Age. So let me show you this giant lot of Hulk books. This is all going to be traded as one lot. Tales to Astonish 75. This is low grade, has a little water damage. You can see down here at the bottom a little wrinkling. So it's quite low grade. Tales to Astonish 75. But some of these Hulks are actually in pretty nice shape. This isn't one of them. This is more of a mid-grade. Hulk 150. I love, of course, the frame covers. 150. Some of these get a little bit nicer here, though. 151. 155. There's a little distributor spray there. Oh, man, I just love these books from this era. 172, 178, The Death of Warlock. This sort of picks up the loose threads from when Warlock's first series ended. 187. Some of the ones in this range here in particular are quite nice. 188, 190, 191, 196, 199, 201, 202, 203, 204. It's a lot of nice ones in a row. 205. Then we got 234. An annual 7. But there's more. There's more. It says Angel and Iceman, so it's like, it's kind of like a Champions thing. But wait, there's more. So there's also Marvel Superheroes 56, which is a reprint of an old Hulk issue. Senses Shattering Origin issue. So I guess it's a reprint of his origin. I don't know if it's Hulk 1 or a later one. And then we have the moderns. Red Hulk. This collects the Red Hulk numbers 1 through 3 in one volume. Immortal Hulk number 2. I think this is, it's a 5th print variant. And it's signed here, as you can see, by Al Ewing, the writer. Immortal Hulk number 1 director's cut. So this was like a reprint that had a bunch of bonus stuff in it. And Hulk Pit one shot. This is a square bound. Now those are the ones that I got from the trade. But I mentioned in the previous video that recently I bought a grab bag, a mystery grab bag of dollar books, and there were a bunch of Hulks in there. So I'm actually adding even more to that, more moderns. Hulk number 8, Legacy 775. Hulk 87. Son of Hulk 14. And World War Hulk number 2. So all of these books are going to be one giant lot. So if you're a Hulk fan or you want to get into Hulk, this is a great starting place. As you saw, there are a ton of great Bronze Age Hulk books. Everyone knows I'm not a fan of the Hulks, but I know other people are. And I do love those 20-cent frame books. All right, so that's lot number 1 that I'm breaking out from what he sent me. Here's lot number 2. This is another issue of Hulk, but I wanted to break this out separately because it's a minor key, square bound, nice condition. It's Hulk 250 with a Hulk versus Silver Surfer. So I'm going to do this as a separate lot. Obviously, if someone wants to trade for both at the same time, that's fine. But I knew that there would be some interest in this for people that didn't want the rest of them. So just a really cool book for fans of that. Now, there's also a big lot of Silver Surfer books, right? So here's what you're going to get in the Silver Surfer lot. Silver Surfer number 1 from 1982, which has an awesome cover. Silver Surfer number 1 from 1987. Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Now, obviously, this is a bit of a key. This is a lower grade copy. It's pretty rough. You can see that the price tag was $10. This is a book in nice condition, is 30, 40, 50 bucks or whatever. I'm not quite sure what it is now, but I think it's at least 30 in nice shape. This is pretty rough, but there's more. You also get Stan Lee Meets the Silver Surfer, and you get a whole run of the fantasy masterpieces. Now, these came out 1979, 1980, and they reprint Silver Surfer books from the late 60s, a series from the late 60s, and a lot of those were giant size. So these are all giant square bound, and a really great way to read those stories. So there's Fantasy Masterpieces number 2, number 5, number 7, number 10, number 11, and number 14 with the Spider-Man crossover. So again, all of these books are going to be in another lot, the Silver Surfer lot. But again, you get Silver Surfer 1, Silver Surfer 1, Infinity Gauntlet 1, plus all of this great reading material. And then he was super nice and actually threw in some bonus books that I'm including as a fourth lot here because they're really cool. They're lenticular covers. There's 3 of the DC villain lenticular covers, and I gotta say, these look super cool. I'm not really a fan of the New 52 DC era here, but it's super cool. This is Batman The Dark Knight 23.1 with the ventriloquist cover. I'm not sure you can really get the full effect, but these are really, that doesn't really work with the light on there, but take my word for it, in person, there's a really awesome 3D effect with the lenticular cover. It's really cool. Then there's the Dark Knight 23.3 with Clayface. Justice League of America number 7.4 with the Black Adam lenticular cover. And I wish you could see these in person because I don't think the video does them justice. They're really cool. I'd heard of them, but I hadn't seen any in person. These are really dope. And then there's one Marvel one. Now, the Marvel lenticular effect is not nearly as cool as the DC, but this is actually a minor key, a minor modern key, a very minor one. But it's Thanos number 13, which has this lenticular effect. So it looks like the cover is Secret Wars number 12, and then it turns into Thanos number 13. And this is also has the first appearance of Cosmic Ghost Rider. For those who don't know, Cosmic Ghost Rider is a version of, it's Frank Castle, who has become Ghost Rider and then has become the Herald of Galactus. I don't write them, I'm just reporting to you what happened. But it's super cool. I mean, these covers are just really cool. So there's going to be a fourth lot that's going to be all the lenticular covers together because they're really cool. So again, I want to thank Murphy Lee Ain't Dumb because it was a great trade. A lot of great stuff. It's always fun to see these cool books. I've never owned any of these before. So it's just, well, I owned Silver Surfer 1 1987, but I never owned any of the rest of these. And hopefully someone out there watching this will need some of these. So it's really cool. And it's also, I mean, it was a perfect trade for me for the trading challenge because, as I said, I had doubles of both the Doctor Strange 169 and the Avengers Annual 10. So being able to trade one of each of those away was absolutely perfect. So it all worked out. Everybody's super happy with the deal, and I love the books that came in. So again, thanks very much, Murphy Lee Ain't Dumb. I really appreciate it. Second trade I want to tell you about is a huge blockbuster mega trade that I made with Silver Knight Kyle. Thanks very much, Kyle. Kyle's been trading me right from round 1, consistently trading, and we've been trading up. And so this time around, we had our biggest trade yet. It's over $1,000 going both directions. I will say that included a couple books that weren't on the list before. Some of you know, long people that have been watching a long time and watching these for a long time. I had done a video where I showed you the box of dollar bin books that were not yet in the trading challenge, but were going to be put in there. That was probably a mistake because I've had a number of people ask to trade 4 books in there. Because I had done these other 2 trades first, I had some empty slots in my trading pool, so I was sort of able to do that. But going forward, I'm not really going to be doing that. Um, Unrelated, but I just want to mention while I'm talking about just the details of the trade. I did have some people kind of complain a little bit because I've been doing some trades before the video was live, so there were some books in the pool that had already been claimed by people. That's strictly for logistical reasons, because if I wait to do the video, it's like sometimes weeks or months where I'm waiting for this trade or that trade to end, and that's a huge block of time where I'm not able to do trades. But in the interest of fairness, I'm not going to be doing any of that either. So I haven't told anybody what's going out in this video. When you see it, will be the first time anybody sees it, so everything's available to everybody. Having said that, I traded Kyle a bunch of awesome stuff, and that included Star Slayer number 2 9.8, which I had shown in a previous video. I traded the Marvel Preview 4 back to him. I had gotten that from him in a previous video. Amazing Spider-Man 134, CGC 8.0, Journey into Mystery 92, a nice copy of that. Amazing Spider-Man 252, the first black suit went out to him. Airboy number 5, and the Master of Kung Fu number 29. So all of those books are going to Kyle, plus a few others. And what did I get back? I got back a bunch of awesome stuff. Oh, and I want to mention, when I get to the end of this, I've got sort of a strategy for how I'm going to approach the next round that I want to talk about. But I'll get into that because these books are key to the strategy. First up, it's Young Avengers number 1. Really nice copy. First appearance of almost all of the Young Avengers. This book was super hot 2 years ago. It's gone significantly down, but it still seems obvious to me that there's going to be a TV show or probably a movie about the Young Avengers, because they've been systematically introducing a new member of the team in like every Disney Plus show, one after the other. So they've almost introduced all of the characters at this point. That definitely felt like an intentional planning strategy. So I have to think that at some point that's going to come good here, particularly with Kang being the villain in the next phase of Marvel, and he plays a huge role in the creation of the Young Avengers. So I'm just certain that that is in the plans. Now, Marvel's a little up in the air right now with what they're doing. They've canceled some projects, moved some around. That could affect those plans. But at the time these projects for the last couple of years have been coming out, it's obvious to me that they're doing something with Young Avengers. This is a great book. I bought the whole Young Avengers series when it came out off the stands because I was such a big Avengers fan. I no longer have my copies, but it's really cool to get this in. Also super cool, another book that's taken a big dive in value over the last 2 years, but is still really cool and should be, I think, actually going back up because of the Into the Spider-Verse and all that stuff, the success of those cartoons. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 4. This is a special chase variant. And this is, I think it might be 1 in 25. I don't remember if it's 1 in 10 or 1 in 25. It's the first appearance of Silk. So this is like one of the big variants. It's a really nice copy. It's got a couple non-color breaking bends at the bottom corner. No spine ticks. I think it can be pressed out. So if CGC and CBCS weren't such a complete mess, I would consider sending it in and getting it pressed and graded, because I think with a press, it'll be at least a 9.6. But they're just such a disaster that I think it's better to just trade it raw. So I'm going to keep that raw the way it is. Great book, even with the bends. Super cool. And then I got 2 awesome Golden Age pre-code horror books. First of all, we get Uncanny Tales number 17. It's got a Bill Everett cover. it's a zombie cover where there's a headless corpse carrying a woman with a red dress. You got the awesome moon with the bat, and then the head is in the graveyard. I live with corpses. Low grade. There's definitely some splitting and chipping along the spine, but awesome cover. Super hard to find, and these zombie covers always have a lot of interest and value. And then also another Bill Everett cover. It's Adventures into Weird Worlds 22, and this is a vampire cover, which has a vampire carrying a woman in a red dress. This is a little bit nicer. It's still got a spine split at the bottom of the spine, but it's more like a three. And here's this awesome cover. So these are really hard to figure the value on them. The only ones that have sold recently on eBay have been much lower grade. So we're gonna see how it goes. But just 4 tremendous books coming back from Kyle. And I'm really excited to have these, and I'm also excited to be able to get these in the hands of a pre-code horror collector, and hopefully get back something even more awesome to continue the trading cycle. So thank you so much, Kyle. Awesome books here. And then finally, I had another trade on Reddit with the newest rant, and sent him 4 books. Sent him the Miracle Man #1 and the Ice Cream Man 23 variant. But the main things that I sent him was the Nova #1 CGC 9.2 and the higher grade Doctor Strange 169, about a 5.5. And for those 4 books and those 2 big books in particular, I got back this. Definitely the most valuable book I've had so far in my trading challenge. It is Ultimate Spider-Man #4, the first appearance of Miles Morales. Book's in very nice shape. It does have a corner ding bottom spine, like an impact, like it had been dropped. So there's a little bit there. Does have a color breaking tick with that. So because of that, like, I'm trying to be super conservative. I'm saying like an 8.5/9. I think 8.5 might have just the slightest bend in the middle of the book as well. So I think an 8.5. Reasonable. I think a press would help the book a lot. Again, this is something where if CBCS in particular weren't such a disaster class, I would be sending it to them, because this also has 2 unverified signatures on it, and it's Jonathan Hickman and Nick Spencer. You can see the signature here and the other one right up here. So super hot book. It has cooled down like so many things from 2021, and the beginning of 2022, the last year and a half, prices have been coming down because they went so crazy at the beginning of the pandemic. But Miles Morales is becoming increasingly important, not just to the comics, but the movies. Super popular character. And so this first appearance of Miles Morales is a huge book to have. It's a really nice copy. It's got the cool signature. So I'm really excited to get this. Thank you, Newest Rant, for the trade. Another awesome book. Now, you'll notice that in a lot of these trades, I was consolidating a lot of things. I'm sending away, 4 books for one. After the dust settled and I got everything sorted, I ended up with 4 empty slots in my trading pool, which means I can add 4 new books. So let me show you what the 4 new books are, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about my trading strategies and everything for the next round. First up, and you knew this had to be coming, it's Starslayer #2. It's a CGC 9.6. Now, for those of you who are new to this, a few years ago, not that long before I started this trading challenge, I ended up buying about 15 copies of Starslayer 2 for 30 cents each. And a number of them are high grade. So I sent a bunch of them to CGC. I got 2 9.8s. Those are both gone. But I still have 2 9.6s, a 9.4, a 9.2, and a whole pile of ungraded raw copies. And so there's almost always going to be a copy of Starslayer #2 in the trading challenge. Now, this is a book that's gone way down again from that peak a year and a half, 2 years ago, where it skyrocketed when news of the movie reboot had come out. That nothing has happened with that yet, so it's gone back down. But an awesome book. The important thing, of course, is on the back. People are always like, "Well, it'd be worth so much more money if Rocketeer were on the cover." He is on the cover. You just turn it around. There he is. Awesome Dave Stevens artwork. So just tremendous. So I'm adding that into the pool. I'm also adding a really cool romance book that I got from the same store at the same time. 30 cents for this. And it's Lover's Lane number 37. Now, these aren't that easy to get. There's a short run of Lover's Lane. I think it's from issues like 33 to 38 or so, where they have the drawn covers, and all of the rest of them are very expensive because they have very suggestive covers. This isn't nearly as provocative as the others in this short run, but it's still a great book, hard to find, really cool. I know we've got some romance fans out there, and there is already a big romance book still in the lot that I wasn't able to trade last time, so I'll talk a little bit about that next, but I'm hoping to bundle those two together. I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but at the recent Terrificon recently, I got a bunch of signatures, including a couple on like dollar books, specifically for the trading challenge. So we've got Long Shot number 1, which I just had freshly signed by Art Adams. You can see I put the date 7/23 right there. First appearance of Long Shot, first appearance of Mojo, important X-Men key. And it's a nice copy. It's got a couple spine ticks, and it's got some blunting at all four corners, really. So even though it's a really nice, clean book, slight bend in the middle as well. I have it around a 6. So it's a really nice, clean, mid-grade book with Art Adams' signature. And then finally, another book that I have around a 6. It's hard to get these books out of the dollar bins in high grade because a lot of times they're just chucked in there with no bags and boards, and even though they may never have been read, they just take a little wear and tear. So this is a really nice looking copy that, again, I probably have around a 6.5. A book you don't see too often, but I think I will trigger some nostalgia for a lot of you. It's Count Duckula number 1. Really cool book. I've had these books sitting out here on my table for about a month as I was getting ready to do this video, and I keep looking at this Count Duckula cover and thinking, that's a really cool looking book. There's something about the colors, it's just very vibrant. I just really like the way this looks as a comic book, So Count Duckula, so that's going in the trading pool. So in a second, I'm going to go through all the books that are left in the trading pool. We'll put up the new list with the current trading ask values of everything. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about my strategy for this time. I mentioned it a little bit when I was talking about the Lover's Lane number 37. So one of the books still in the pool from last time is this True to Life Romances number 10. Really hard to find, classic L.B. Cole cover romance book. And what I'm going to try and do with some of the top books this time around is bundle them. One thing that I've run into the last couple rounds is I've gotten these books that are at higher prices, starting to get up books that are, $300, $350. And I've been at that stage for a little bit. And the issue is the books that I have don't have anything to do with each other. So when I'm trying to offer people something, it's hard to find someone that needs, needs an issue of Doctor Strange and, the first issue of Nova. Now, I happen to be able to do that this time, but it's really difficult. So what my new strategy is when I'm trading up for these books is I'm trying to trade up so I have books that go together, naturally go together, so that they're obvious there's an obvious collecting interest, and I'm hoping that it will make it easier for me to bundle these. So I've got the Lover's Lane 37 and the True to Life Romances number 10, but more importantly, my 4 biggest books, the 4 most valuable books at the top, are books that go together. So we have this pair here, the Pre-Code Horror, Bill Everett covers, Red Dress covers, Zombie, Vampire. It's a perfect pair. But also, I've put this together with the first Silk, the first Miles Morales. So my hope is to trade both of these to the same person, to trade both of the Pre-Code Horror to the same person, and consolidate both, that way, and both of the Golden Age Romance to the same person. Don't know if I'll be able to do that. And if someone watching this, if you only want one of them, please feel free to make me an offer. I will listen to everything. But that's my plan this time. My strategy is bundle those together, keep those together. And so, take these 2, the Pre-Code Horror books, take the 2 of them, trade them up for one, book that's $600-700. I'm trying to get Silver Age and Bronze Age superhero keys because I know that's what most people want. I have to fight my natural tendency when I'm doing this to get the cool stuff, because for me the cool stuff is the Pre-Code Horror. It's the romance. It's the offbeat stuff. It's Count Duckula, right? But I know for most people what they're looking for is the superhero stuff. So I'm going to try and keep focused on that when I'm trading. But that's the plan right now. Bundle them together, and hopefully I'll have an easier time trading up when I'm trading 2 books that naturally go together like these. Okay, so here's what's left in the trading pool. Lone Wolf and Cub number 1. Count Duckula number 1. Micronauts number 1. Now, some of these I have been adjusting the prices. Things have gone down, but there's some of the books that I have been in the trading pool for a while. I've been lowering the prices each time to try and get them traded. This one's been in the pool since the 2nd round. So I've had this book for a long time now, and I love it, but I haven't been able to find anyone to trade it, so I did drop the price on this one a little bit. Long Shot number 1, signed by Art Adams. Another lot that I've lowered the price on. 2 awesome Golden Age books. It's Red Rider number 65, number 85. Some classic Golden Age Western. The lenticular variant lot. The Hulk number 250, giant size battle with Silver Surfer. The Silver Surfer lot. Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter number 5 and 18. Here's another one that I dropped the price on. Both mid-grade. First appearance of Lady Shiva, first Bronze Dragon. Superman Funeral for a Friend, Late Prince. I also dropped the price on this. I think my pricing has been fine, but it's a very niche, sort of a niche collecting base. So it's Superman Funeral for a Friend. This is Superman 77 second print, which is pretty hard to find. I've personally sold 2 copies of this on eBay for $40 each. So I'm only asking $30 for the set of these. It also comes with Action Comics 685 third print and a Superman 73 second print. But people that collect these tend to want really high grade, and the key one there, the Superman 77, is mid-grade. It's a nice book, but so I've dropped the price on that as well. Lover's Lane number 37. A really nice unread Avengers Annual 10. I have it at 8.5, 10 trending towards 9. It's got a little bit of a spine roll from a stacking curl, really. just from a pile of them being stacked on top of each other. It's got a little bit of a curl. The tiniest little printing sort of paper tag at one of the staples, but it's a beautiful unread copy. Avengers Annual 10, the first appearance of Rogue. Star Slayer number 2, CGC 9.6. Young Avengers number 1. The huge lot of Hulks with all those awesome Bronze Age Hulks, plus all the cool modern reading stuff. True to Life Romances number 10 with the classic LB Cole cover. Amazing Spider-Man number 4 variant, first appearance of Silk. Adventures into Weird World number 22 with the Bill Everett vampire cover. Uncanny Tales 17 with the Bill Everett zombie cover. And Ultimate Fallout number 4, first Miles Morales, signed by Hickman and Spencer. Some awesome books. So we put the new list of books up here on the chart, so you can see all of those. These are my asking for trade. You know, if you're buying them raw with cash, you probably get the Spider-Man 4 and the Ultimate Fallout 4 for a little bit less if it was cash, but I'm asking a little bit more with the trade. But there's some great stuff here. Send me offers if you're interested in anything. So how this is going to work is the way it always works. There's a list of all the books in the description down below with the estimated grade and my trade value. I'm going to keep a pinned comment at the top if people have traded for them to show which ones are gone. I look at offers on a first come first serve basis. Obviously, I reserve the right to turn down trades, which I have done, particularly for some of the higher books. I'm probably not going to turn down any trade offers for Lone Wolf and Cub or Micronauts at this point. I need to get those books moved, but I reserve the right to turn down any trades. But so if a trade is in progress, in the pin note, I'll say that something's pending. You can still send me offers or inquire about books, because if I decide not to make a trade with somebody, I will then go to whoever's next in line and we'll discuss their offers. You can comment down below if there's books that you want, or if you go to the information section on my YouTube channel, there's an email address. You can email me there with your offers. Once the video has been up for a little while and the activity from this video has died down a little, I'm going to take it to other venues. I trade on the Classic Comics Forum. I do trades on the CGC Forum. I do trades on Reddit. I've even done a couple trades on Instagram. So I'm going to try and it's a lot of work to find trade partners for these books, but it's a lot of fun, and it's always cool to get the new books. So that's where we're at this time. So many cool books. I can't wait to see what we get next. I'm really hoping that I can sort of move on up the chain here and get like a nice Silver or Bronze Age key superhero issue, something like an Iron Man number 1, something like a low grade Marvel Spotlight 5, or a Spider-Man 129. Like, that's the sort of thing that I'm hoping to get for some of these, move up to that next level, but we'll see how it goes. And those are for the higher level books, but a key part of this is always, I do want to continue to trade and consolidate those lower price books. So, if you really want the Count Duckula and the Long Shot, send me an offer. I'd love to trade those 2 books for one of yours, and consolidate that, open up another slot. So that's how this is supposed to work. Anything that you see here that you think will be cool in your collection, hit me up, let me know. So that's it for this time. That's the Dollar Bin Trading Challenge, and let's do some trades.